All right, Jody, thank you for that live report.
Thank you. All right, continuing our coverage of this historic peace deal with Iran, we want to bring in Senior Fellow for National Security at the Heritage Foundation, Steve Yates, as well as Newsmax contributor, retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt. Great to see you both this morning. Steve, I'll start with you. So the president announcing the historic deal on Truth Social, saying in part, quote, with the opening of the strait upon the signing of the deal on Friday for purposes of mine removal, oil will flow on both ends again for the region and the world. It's very important to a lot of people. And former President Obama then was quick to throw shade on President Trump's achievement. Take a listen to this.
It is doubtful that any agreement that arises is going to be significantly different or a significant improvement from the deal that we had in the first place and had worked for a long stretch of time before the United States, pulled out of it.
So Obama claims that nothing new was accomplished this weekend and that his deal was exactly the same. Steve, what do you make of this?
Well, once again, I think Barack Obama gets the all-time chutzpah award. He, after all, set in motion all of these things that put us to the point of crisis where I think President Trump had no choice but for the sake of future generations and maybe even our generation had to take action. There are so many things that are different about what President Trump has done to date. There may become a time for us to pick apart the jot and tittles of the particular text that has been agreed to, but there's no question the president is not leaving behind any ability for Iran to enrich. We have destroyed their centrifuges. Those are what President Obama and his deal left in place to spin and be able to continue to develop. And we have mowed down their military in a way, yes, they still have some tactical ways to hit out at us. We may not have put them back to the Stone Age, but we put them back to the Dark Ages. And so there's a lot that's different about where President Trump is arriving at a deal. And so congratulations to Barack Obama for having missed the plot of the last 10 years.
Well, yeah, and if I remember correctly, Democrats in the Senate at the time didn't even like that deal, so they wouldn't ratify it, and that's how bad that deal was. But Blaine,
no less than Chuck Schumer.
Yeah. So, Blaine, once this deal does get signed Friday in Geneva, it opens the Strait of Hormuz. It ends the naval blockade on Iran. The administration then sent Secretary of War Pete Hegseth out to the Sunday shows to answer skeptics. Take a listen.
They begged Iran for a deal, and we bombed Iran and then put in a blockade and then ran ships through and then have restarted when necessary to ensure that they come to the table for a great deal. So our military posture will be whatever it needs to be to ensure they're compelled over this 60 days through the Memorandum of Understanding that they live up to what they said they would do.
Yeah, and that's the key part there, Blank, is Iran never lives up to what they say they're going to do. And I worry that the 60-day negotiation period, that's where things really get tough.
But do they get tough? So who's holding the cards? They don't have a military anymore. We've cut off life support to the three terror groups or proxy groups that President Obama paid for in cash. We have levers on a potential revolution that we could aid and abet at any time. The IRGC is on life support, and we can monitor the entire situation. And now Scott Bessent and President Trump are going to rightly focus their attentions on the other adversary that's holding up traffic in the Straits, and that is the City of London financialists and Lloyds of London, who won't write an insurance wrapper and threatens everybody not to play ball with President Trump. And that's what's holding your Straits back right now. Look, we're on the right track. President Obama can try to rewrite history any way he sees fit, but he actually funded every single thing you're seeing right now. And so appeasement doesn't work. It never works. And here's President Trump cleaning it up for everybody. My grandkids, thank you.
Steve, I do want to get to this. While the announcement of the MOU was happening, the Israelis struck Hezbollah inside Lebanon, which caused Iran to vow retaliation until President Trump stepped in, saying there should be no more attacks by Israel anywhere in Lebanon, but there should also be no more attacks by any other party, including Hezbollah, against Israel. Again, these two still going back and forth this morning. So can there really be peace with the Iranian proxies still at it?
Well, in a sense, this is definitely going to be a challenge, but President Trump is playing a role of somewhat mediating, where in a lot of other negotiations, he urges everyone to sort of cool it on all sides while we get the bigger pieces of this in place. Now, there's no question, I think, analytically, of who the bad actor is in this. It is still the remnants of the Iranian regime trying to use what's left of their tentacles. They have not called off their dogs completely. It's not exactly fair to say if you don't call off your dogs, they're not going to get put down by someone else. However, I think President Trump is overwhelmingly preoccupied with trying to get the broad framework in place. And during that time, he's going to say what he's going to say to try to create the space for that. But longer term, the more that the remnants of this regime in Iran are degraded and something different is built into place, the less this issue flares up, the safer Israel will be in the broader Middle East, has the potential to be different.
All right, Steve, Blaine, great to have you both with us this morning. Thank you, guys.